Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of The Real Deal. I love it when I can give stories that can relate to my episodes, and that's exactly what I have for you guys today. So I have a client story that I'm going to keep anonymous, but it's something that comes up all the time, and I figured, you know what? I got to make a video talk about taxes and how this affects your potential qualification, or not necessarily just taxes, but also the type of employment that you have. Okay. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a backstory. I have a client that was considering purchasing a house, and they didn't think that they could purchase a house because they hadn't claimed taxes the last couple of years. They didn't know and they didn't realize that that was the only thing that was holding them back. But their employment was W-2, right? Hourly, salary type of employment. Well, when you're an hourly or salary employee, you don't need to provide your taxes. All we need is your 2-year job history, your 2 years of W-2s. So we were very fortunate, and the client was very happy to find out that they can now purchase a home and now can be added to the loan. So that was a really happy moment for this client, and of course for me, because we were able to get them moved into the next stage and the next process of purchasing a home. We're going to talk about 3 different types of employments and how they are affected when it comes to your taxes and how it comes to like job history. Okay, let's start off with the first one, which is self-employed. This one's going to be one of the tougher ones, and this also includes 1099 contract work, right? So like if you own a pool company, if you're an electrician, if you own anything like Uber drivers, any type of pay, contract type pay, if you get a 1099, or if you're self-employed, you have your own business, your own LLC, this is going to fall into your category. No matter what, they have to take 2 years of job history for a standard typical loan. Now, there are special products out there where you can put a big chunk down. We're talking just your normal 30-year loan where you can potentially just put the minimum 3.5% down. Okay. In those situations, in those scenarios, taxes are crucial because they're going to take a 2-year history, right? So they're going to average your income, and it's going to be your net income too, which is that's a big deal. That happens a lot. I get clients that come to me and they make great money, but when it comes to their deductions, they have a bunch of write-offs, and the usable income that we have to be able to use to help them purchase a house is a very little amount. This applies to barbers. This applies to, nail estheticians, anything in that field. If you're getting self-employment income or 1099 income, they're going to average out your 2 years worth of job history. And they're going to average out your net income, not your gross income. So it doesn't matter if you gross 150K, when your deductions are said and done, it only looks like you're making 20K. We can only use that 20K to get you approved. So that's kind of a big deal, something to definitely consider. Perfect timing if you've been hesitant on doing your 2019 taxes, or you're taking advantage of the delayed options right now. Perfect timing to submit an application to find out where you're at, because potentially you'll be real close, where if you're doing these taxes this year, you'll want to have less write-offs or less deductions, so that way you can use more of that money that you made if you're self-employed or if you're a 1099 employee. Okay, so this is a big one. Happens all the time. Just keep in mind 2-year history, and it's your net income. Next one is going to be commission-based work. Now, the cool thing with commission-based, bonus-based, per diem, miles, shift differentials, that type of pay, if you're going to try to use that type of pay, there has to be a 2-year average. However, it's going to be based off your gross income. So it's not going to be off your deductions and all that. It's just going to be your gross income, which is great. If you have variable income, that varies based on what time of the day you work, or depending on if you get bonuses, or depending if you get commission, or if you work overtime, a lot of overtime. I have clients, especially warehouse workers, they work a ton of overtime, and they need to be able to use that overtime. You have to have a 2-year average of that. So they're going to take that 2-year average. W-2s is all we need. That's a situation where we wouldn't need your taxes. We would just need your W-2s for the last 2 years, your most recent paycheck stubs, and your deductions are a non-factor. They won't affect you in any way. So that's kind of a cool thing. However, this is a big one where if I have clients sometimes that they'll come to me and they've been working like a W-2 hourly job. They get a better position or better pay potentially, where they're going to make more money in the long run, but they're going to cut down their hourly pay. This is one of those situations where this will affect you, because they still have to take your 2-year average. They don't have to take your W-2. They don't have to take your taxes and see what your net income is, but they do need to look at your W-2 income for the last 2 years and average that out. So if you're going from hourly pay and then you're switching to commission-based or per diem, or per hour, shift differential, anything like that, If you're going from hourly to something like this, it's going to affect you. So if you're in this type of an industry where you get commission bonuses and you're thinking about buying a house, hold on to that job until you're done buying a house. Otherwise, if you go to a job that's paying you less per hour and now we have to wait a whole nother years to average out your commission, it's going to kind of suck for you. So just consider that. Good news is you don't need your taxes for that either. So that's a good thing. And then last, of course, is the easiest of them all, salary employee. So this is your typical just hourly job or your typical just salary monthly employment, teachers, 9 to 5. This one is the easiest. Don't need your taxes. W-2, doesn't matter if you just started working and your hourly pay is enough to qualify for a house. That's all you need. You can switch from one job to the other. I've had clients that take a couple months off because of maternity leave. They come back and they go right back where they started. This is definitely going to be the easiest one to qualify for because we don't need your taxes. All we need is your W-2s and obviously your most recent paycheck stubs. Deductions are not a factor. This one also is based off your gross income. It's not just your net, similar to the commission based. The one difference and the one big benefit with this one is it can be a new job, right? It could be just a brand new promotion or you switch companies. You moved in from out of state. I've had that happen where clients moved in from out of state. So this is the easiest way to get qualified if you have, just your regular type 9 to 5 work employment. But kind of consider all the other factors that we talked about, kind of see where you fall into that bracket. If you've been thinking about it, if you've been considering it, this is kind of a good time if you've been hesitant on claiming your taxes, right? And if there's something that's been holding you back, talk to me, talk to my lender so we can find out where your taxes need to be so that way we can find out potentially what you qualify for. And then once again, if you haven't claimed your taxes and you are a commission-based job or salary type employment, as long as you're not self-employed or as long as you don't have your own business, we don't need your taxes. So that's a big deal. All right. So if you guys know anybody that's in that scenario, or if anybody has any questions regarding that, please have them reach out to me. Have them follow me on Instagram. Have them follow me on Facebook. My phone number is everywhere. And I look forward to working with you or anybody that you guys know get into a home this year. Thank you guys and have a great day.